The Italians are the champions of Europe for the first time since 1968. Welcome to the show, sporting lovers around the world. It has been a great sporting weekend. With me on the show today, I'm your host, Olalekan Olawale. With me on the show today is Debo Adejare, BC Olayinka, then Seyi Ajayi. Guys, say hi to the listeners around the world.
Hi guys, my name is Debo Adejare. This is Urban Radio Scope on our YouTube channel as well at News Instant Sports. I'm wonderful to be here today.
Olayinka.
Hello, sports fans. Hello, sports fans. It's good to be here. My name is Olayinka Odumuye. Welcome to the best sports show in the world, not just in North America alone, in the world. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Seyi.
Hello, sports fans. What an eventful weekend in sports. You're welcome to the show. And I'm very sure you're going to enjoy the show today.
Yeah, so guys, we'll be starting from the Wimbledon Open. The female final was played yesterday, and Australian Ashley Barty, won the female version, beating her opponent in 3 sets. I'll start with you, Debo. She's the world number one. Was this a surprise due to the fact that we have some couple of players who probably left the tournament injured, and with Naomi Osaka not participating? Do you think if all these people were to participate in the championship, Barty would have still won the championship?
As expected from the preview of the tournament, we expected Ashley to win this tournament, basically, especially with Naomi Osaka not participating, and of course Serena Williams going out injured and the rest, right? And just to chip in, we expected her to break a hoodoo. This is the first time since 1980 that an Australian is winning. An Australian is winning the Wimbledon Open. So she made yet another history. But the toughest opposition she could have had in this tournament was Sabalenka. Sabalenka just did not come up to the show in the semifinals. So unless I'll say if Naomi Osaka participated, that would have been the only snag, or should I say the cog in her wheel. Otherwise, it's always going to be Ashley for this one.
Okay, thank you, Debo. Now, Olayinka, let me come for you. For Carolina, were you disappointed with her performance in the final?
Yes. Thank you, Ali. Honestly, I saw the match and it was a wonderful one. I was not disappointed at all, given the fact that she defeated Sabalenka, who won the women's doubles at the Aussie Open. You know, she won the women's doubles, and she was the second seed for the tournament. And I was expecting that Sabalenka was going to raise her game and probably will have a first seed versus second seed finals. But it wasn't like that. Pliskova, she took the match against Sabalenka. She took it to her. She threw away respect, and she took up Sabalenka. And in the finals, I mean, initially everybody thought that okay, Barty was going to overrun Pliskova, and that almost happened. In the first set, Barty took it 6-3, but in the second set, Barty was leading. However, Pliskova, she began to rise up. She grew more confident. Her demeanor changed, and most importantly, the fans began to root for her, and she grew in confidence and began to pick out the points. And I must say, she's a tall lady, and her serves are awesome. They're so powerful. I'm sure that some men cannot return our services. They were that powerful. Unfortunately, at a stage, she won the second set. In the third stage, you knew that Barty was going to rely on her wealth of experience. In spite of the fans still backing Pliskova, Barty she identified a flaw in Pliskova's game, which is what she doesn't last long in rallies. And I noticed that as well. So once you can serve very well, once you can hold Pliskova to a rally of like 7 exchanges. She will give in. And she came in the third set, and the rest is history. Ashley Barty is the undisputed champion of Wimbledon and still the world number 1.
Yeah, thank you for that in-depth analysis. Yeah, moving to the men's version, the man of the moment, Novak Djokovic, actually won his 20th Grand Slam title, beating the Italian Berrettini in 4 sets, 6-7, 6-4, 6-4, and 6-3. Sheyi, let me start with you. I don't think anybody is actually surprised with the outcome of this tournament. But where does this put Djokovic in terms of history? Sheyi?
Yeah, thank you, Lawale. I think obviously everybody in the tennis world is definitely not surprised about Novak Djokovic Wimbledon win. And also, I think now he has like 19 or 20 Grand Slam to his name.
He has equaled
he has equaled Federer and Nadal's record.
Yes.
So definitely, and if we look at the way Djokovic still plays, this guy plays as if he still has up to like 5 years in the tank, winning Grand Slam back to back. If he's already winning 20 Grand Slams at the moment, and we still see someone that can still go on definitely for the next 4 years, let's just say 4 years, I can say that has already set him ahead of everybody at the moment. We are looking at the likes of Roger Federer probably retiring in the next 2 years.
Looking very likely now.
Like
exactly.
This is his last Wimbledon Open. It's 2 years.
Probably. Nadal in probably another 3 years. So definitely we are saying this guy is already setting his steps to be one of the greatest in this sport.
Wow. So Debo, let me come for you with this. Djokovic won the Australian Open. He won the French Open. He won. He just won the Wimbledon Open today. Now, I think in recent times, the only one I could remember was, I think Venus Williams. Was it Venus Williams completing? I think she didn't even do it. She didn't even do it in a calendar year. I think the one I remember, I think it's split over 2 calendar years. Djokovic is about to do something very special, winning all the 4 Grand Slams in a single year.
Yeah.
It's looking more likely that it's going to happen than it's not going to happen. Am I right? I mean, the chances of it happening now is higher than the chance of it not happening.
Exactly. The way we have it right now, I don't think anybody's going to stop Novak winning the US Open. The only person that can stop Novak right now is Novak. Honestly, that's
probably injury.
yeah, that's what I meant by Novak. If he gets injured accidentally or anything, and the way it stands, like we've said on the show over and over again, the new guys they're not bringing up so much opposition to this guy. We understand his mental dexterity. We understand his valor, the way he plays, the way he serves, and the rest, right? But at this point, we should be seeing more from the supporting cast, like we'll call them. Like we should call them because they're supporting cast anyways. Yeah,
that's rude. That's rude.
No, they've left. They basically left the fora, or should I say the play to the big guys. Federer is 40 years old. Djokovic is about 34 years old. Nadal, I think, is 35 or 36 as well. But this guy still gets to the final of the championship and beat these guys with ease, So the only thing that can stop Novak right now is going to be Novak himself. And like Sheyi said, I just want to process what Sheyi said. I'm a diehard Federer fan, but as it stands right now, honestly, the next 1 or 2 years, Novak will be the best tennis player that's ever graced the court.
Wow. Olayinka, let me come for you with this. As at 2010, Roger Federer, but as of 2010, he has won 16 Grand Slam titles. Rafael Nadal has 9. Djokovic with 1 title, as at 2010. Fast forward to today, the 3 of them are on 2020. What does this say about the whole thing?
11 years, 19 trophies, 19 titles, 19 Grand
11
Slam.
years, that means in 11 years, he added 19. In 11 years, Roger Federer added 4, while Nadal added 11. I think, I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm correct. I think Federer probably has actually passed probably as far back as 2010-11.
There's no doubt about it, Wale. You have spoken.
For him, 4 Grand Slams since 2000, for his 4 Grand Slams in 11 years.
No,
actually.
Wale, I will still disagree with Wale, and this is the reason why I would disagree with Wale. Very simple. Out of those 19 Grand Slam that Novak won, I'm pretty sure I have the statistics off my head right now, but I'm pretty sure Novak defeated Federer at least 6 times. So it was still Federer was still doing well, but Novak was just better.
But what I'm saying is he's not the best in the game as far back as probably 2010-11.
100%.
Exactly. No doubt
I
about
think
it.
I think it's a case of era, one way or the other. I think Federer's era kind of span over like 2 different eras. That's the way I look at it. Okay. Because when he was actually winning those titles, we had actually some very fantastic tennis players also. The likes of Tim Emman, Leighton Hewitt, and this American.
Andy Roddick.
Yeah. Andy Roddick, thank you. So I think it was like Federer became like a man for 2 eras. That's the way I can only analyze this, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
And just to add to that, it goes to tell about the level of development of the men's tennis. I mean, first of all, I want to believe that in the last 10 years, what's his name, Nadal, to me, he won 10 or 11. Because I remember the US Open 2020, when they disqualified Novak, he was on course to win that title. There was no doubt about it. But, well, it has happened, what happened, and whether we like it or not, we have 3 people on 2020. Now, coming to the question that Wale threw at me, honestly, it's all about Novak. It's not about Federer now. It's not about Nadal. It's not about Andy Murray. It's all about Novak. Novak is a special player. I mean, he's been number 1 for 329 weeks, which is a record. In a year, how many weeks do we have? 52 weeks. He's been number 1 for almost 6 years. That goes to show the level of commitment, the level of desire. It goes to show the level of
athleticism
input he puts into his daily workout. I can't imagine what he does on a daily basis just to become a better player. And he's been winning in, winning out. When you look at the finals, even before they started, or maybe midway into the match, someone told me that Novak is a specialist at allowing his opponent to win the first set.
It was catching that.
Just to give them a bit of hope.
First and the second.
Just to give them a bit of hope.
To give the fans a show.
Yeah,
exactly.
And more importantly, study them to know their weak points.
Okay, guys. Sorry for cutting you short. I think it's time for us to move to our next line of discussion. We are going to the UFC directly now. Like we all know, Conor McGregor lost yesterday to Dustin Poirier. And I think he actually broke his leg. Let me start with Olayinka from this. Was it about the injury, or he was getting beaten?
Well, the Poitier McGregor trilogy. To me, we always knew that something spectacular to happen because it was the third match between them. And when you look at that match, McGregor came into it with his usual determination and intimidating style. But I mean, when you win the first match of a trilogy and you lose the second match, chances are that your opponent has already studied you. So your opponent's understanding of you is fresher. Your opponent's understanding of your weak point is fresher. So to me, Poitier, he knew McGregor's weakness and he was ready for him. Even prior before the injury, they argued that Poitier was ahead on points and he was even on his way to tying down McGregor until the injury happened. And well, whether we like it or not, McGregor will always boast that if it wasn't for that, maybe the second round I would have gotten back into the fight. But for me, in my opinion, Poitier has his number. He has McGregor's number going forward. So even if that match had gone into 10 rounds, I think McGregor would still have lost.
Yeah, thank you. Now, Shay, let me come for you. Now, there are speculations that I think the MMA, either I think is it the president or commissioner, said there's going to be a fourth installment. Do you see it happening, considering the fact that we don't even know the extent of McGregor's injury?
Okay, Olawale, number one, let me start with the fight. I think Poirier McGregor 3 was going to go only one way and in favor of Poirier. And even the guy kept on saying it. What McGregor was just trying to do is to just beef himself up, as in just kind of McGregor still there, but he has gone. Okay, talking about McGregor, the pause, the larger part of it is for McGregor, $10 million to $1 million. So they're smiling to the bank. Now, this last fight that watches also additional money for the people that came together, that brought the fight together. So we are talking about Poirier and McGregor 4. I will not be surprised, Wale, because they'll probably make a lot of money. But if we are looking at McGregor 1,
honestly, if you don't mind me chipping into something, I don't think there should be any fourth fight. This strategy should not have occurred in any way in the first instance. Exactly. And going forward, McGregor should stick to fighting exhibition matches.
Just like your friend.
Past it. That's just
like your friend.
Just like your friend. What was his name?
Mayweather. They are birds of the same feather anyway.
It's just past it, you know.
Oh, okay, so, but Debo, yeah, I think this morning, ESPN commentator Michael Bisping actually said it's all over for Conor McGregor. Like, it doesn't say him coming back. This is not an official statement from McGregor's camp. It's just him speculating, probably from what he has seen. That, like, he actually said it was something that was never done before in terms of what McGregor achieved. But we are seeing what we are seeing right now that is not in any shape or form that resembles the Conor we saw in 2014. Did you agree with saying that this might likely be the end of Conor McGregor in terms of UFC fighting?
Yeah, 100% I agree with him, and this is one of the reasons why I agree. Sometimes when, like Eminem said something, he said when it's over, when your show is over, just admit it's over, right? You've been on the top, don't respect yourself, you know, and when you're not physically in line, or should I say physically good again, then that is one of the reasons why you should know that the show is over. let me go. I'm a legend in this sport. Let me go and go enjoy my money. He made so much money fighting against Floyd Mayweather. I don't think money should be the issue again. And right now, if he fights against anybody else, they are still going to defeat him.
Thank you, Debo. From there, let's move to the NBA. Two games have been played so far. The Phoenix Suns, they are leading by 2 games to nothing. The third game moves to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where we are going to be having game 3 on Sunday night. That will be early hours of Monday for people in West Africa. So far, the Phoenix Suns, they are leading the series by 2 games to nothing. Sorry, I'm too used to football. So game 1, they won game 1, 118 to 107. Everybody was surprised that Giannis Antetokounmpo actually made it to game 1. He scored 20. I think he scored 21 points in the game. Yeah, 21 points in the game. And in game 2, it came out. We saw the best of Giannis. He scored. I think he scored 40
points in the second game.
Yeah, 42 points in the second game. But unfortunately, his supporting cast, his two other All-Stars, Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday, didn't come to the party. Middleton scored 11 points, and Holiday scored 17 points. Olayinka, let me start from you. Your brief assessment of the first 2 games, game 1, game 2. Olayinka.
Yes, Wale, thanks a lot. First of all, you have to give it to the Suns. 118, 2 straight games.
Yeah, they scored 118, 2 straight games, exactly.
2 straight games. That goes to show that that's a team that they're not going down on their scoring ability. They're doing everything possible. They remind me of the Real Madrid team of the 90s. If you score me 2, I'll score you 3. So they have their scoring hands and scoring boots on. They are giving it everything that they have. But one unsung hero on that team, which to me is a player that completes the team, is DeAndre Ayton. Ayton is an awesome player who takes charge of the ring. He's someone that, without him in the team, you see flashes of Devin Booker and Chris Paul 3. You'll see them. They will come to the show. They will put in their input. There'll be points galore. There'll be fun galore. But DeAndre Ayton is a player that walks the ring. His perimeter shooting is second to none. He plays for the team. He puts in a lot of minutes. And I'm telling you, all he has to do is just be consistent in his display. In the second game, Giannis had 41 or 42 points, right? But our team walked the ring. He pushed Giannis to the limit as well, and he reduced his influence on the game overall. However, we know that to a large extent, the supporting cast for the Bucks, they were not at the party. However, I see the Suns. I see them, if they win this third game, I see them going all. I see them doing like a 4-1 or 5-1. I see the series ending in 5 or 6 games. However, never write off the box. Especially with Giannis coming back. 41, 42 points in the last game. From someone who 2 weeks ago you thought might be out for maybe some weeks.
Like a year. A year, exactly. We even think that it to be a year.
We thought it was going to be out.
They deceived us. That's the truth. They deceived us. Up until the start of game 2, on ESPN, they were still telling us Giannis was going to.
Game 1.
Was it game? Yeah, game 1. Game 1. They were still telling us Giannis was not going to play. I was like, open it. I switched on my TV. I saw him. I'm like, someone first told me Giannis was playing. I'm like, Giannis is not going to play. That's not possible. When I saw him, like, okay.
So, let me come for you on this. There are 2 things I'm going to ask you about concerning this series. Number 1, from the psychological point of view, don't you think it could have been better for the Bucks not to play Giannis in game 1? Imagine Suns winning game 1 without Giannis, and probably they won game 2 even with Giannis. there could be this, the narrative could have been Giannis was a bit rusty for game 2.
Exactly.
He will come out gun blazing in game 3 and game 4. But
Exactly.
psychologically, don't you think the Suns have the edge, considering the fact that they won the 2 games with Giannis on the court, and
Giannis.
most importantly, in game 2, Giannis scored 2 points, and it doesn't still matter.
Yeah.
Your take.
Yeah. So behind closed doors, that was the same thing I told Olayinka. I said, now the psychological advantage the Bucks would have had was if Giannis was not playing, they probably would have won. Take for instance, I'll just circle back to the tennis. You asked me that question in the tennis game, like, okay, Ashleigh Barty won the Australian Open, the Wimbledon Open. But if Naomi Osaka was there, blah blah blah, probably things could have been different. In the same vein, probably if Giannis did not play game 1 as expected, right? And the Suns will not feel so comfortable. But now they brought out their ass now. That's the best. There's nothing else that they can bring to, to make Suns feel a little bit scared anymore. Now they've worked it out. They've worked Bucks out. I don't see, honestly, I don't want to jinx, like Kachi always said, I'm always jinxing him. But I won't want to jinx us, but I don't see the Bucks coming out of this one, honestly. Maybe 6 games, but the Suns is going to take this one in the long run.
Yeah. Okay. For me, please. Sorry. Let me ask you this. We've not really seen. What do you call it? We've not seen Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday showing up. But from what we've seen from previous series against Brooklyn, against Atlanta Hawks, these 2 guys, they always blow hot and cold. But do you expect them to continue to be cold, especially them going back home in Milwaukee? They seem to be more comfortable playing in their backyard. What are you expecting from Jrue Holiday and Chris Middleton? Because if Giannis can still score 40 points and Jrue Holiday comes up with, let me say, 18, then probably a Middleton like 24, I see them winning game 3 and game 4. I don't know. That's my...
Thanks a lot for that. For me, I in the third game, a lot of
adjustments.
A lot of things depend on the mood of. It depends, on the mood of Jrue Holiday. Middleton is someone that.
Sorry for cutting short, but I think defensively, Jrue Holiday was actually on top of this game in game 2. But I think probably because of the effort he had to put in defensively, it actually affected his game in terms of offensive contribution.
True that. That's what's going to make my next statement. That I expect Jrue Holiday to explode in the third game. Why? To a large extent now, he is confident of the fact that Giannis is back. He can hold his own. Now, without disrespecting Middleton, I see him as a sort of sidekick to Giannis. So whatever mood Giannis is what's going to trigger what's the output that Middleton is going to give.
But to be fair to Chris Middleton, when Giannis went down in game 4 against the Hawks, in game 5, was it in game 6, the closeout game when they won the series, Middleton played his mind
best.
There is even some narrative going on Twitter, especially Skip Bayless of Fox Sports, is actually making the kind of narrative that these 2 guys play better without Giannis. Like it seems Giannis is holding them back. Though I don't believe that, but I'm just trying to put up a point in defense of Chris Middleton. I think he had one of his best games even without Giannis. I don't think he's like a side chick to Giannis. I don't know. You can continue with your point. Olayinka.
Olayinka, continue, please.
Continue. You can hear you.
To me, I actually disagree with that. Right? Fine. I don't want to say it was a one-off performance by Chris Middleton then, but when you look at right from the regular season to the playoffs. That was what I noticed. Drew Holiday is a player that can hold his own. He's been there and there. Yes. Yes, like I was saying, Drew Holiday is a player that can hold his own. But for me, Chris Middleton, I saw him during the regular season. Yes, he's a decent player, but he's not a player that you can actually put the load of the team on his shoulders. Whether we like it or not, Giannis will always be the number one asset of that team. Middleton is a player that comes in at times, tries to pull his weight. Once in a while, he does exceptional things. But I basically think that he performs better when Giannis is there. However, like I said, a key factor will be Drew Holiday's mood in the third game. And I expect him to explode because he knows that right now it's like a do or die situation. If they do not win the third game, if they do not get their acts together, and the Suns, they hit another 118 points minimum, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be in trouble.
So now, looking ahead to game 3, game 4 again, let's take a look at the Suns team. In game 1, they lost the Croatian international Dario Saric to ACL. He is out of the series. We have for like 6 months. Torrey Craig, in trying to take a charge from Giannis in game 2, he suffered a knee injury, but thankfully for them, they say it's going to be a day-to-day assessment. They can, as of today, I'm not sure whether he's out for game 3. But if Torrey Craig is probably out of game 3, don't you think the Suns are becoming a little bit out of depth, especially in the front court? So how don't you think this will affect them going on? Because the longer the series goes, the more fatigue setting, the more you need all the players that could add something to you. And Torrey Craig, he has hit some very good 3-point shots in this series. So, but going forward, do you think they will need? Do you think fatigue might be a problem for the Suns if Torrey Craig should be out? Because I think in the front court, especially if DeAndre Ayton gets into foul trouble, who comes in for him for a longer period of time? I don't know. How do you think they are going? How do you expect them to react to this?
Yeah, it's going to be a dicey one for them. Given the injury, hopefully he's not going to be out for too long. But if he is, that changes the dynamics of the game, right? It sways the momentum towards the buck. All they have to do is center the attacking round, drown the said loophole within the game. So hopefully, for the sake of myself and all other on the globe, and all British more fans across the globe, I hope that it's not going to be a long-term injury. It's not going to be something that will change the momentum for them. But it's going to be a very dicey one if it does not come back very soon.
Yeah, thank you guys. We can't wait to probably have the result. But before we go, before we go, I will need to add this. It was an exhibition game. Seeing Nigeria beat Team USA 90-87. There was a Damian Lillard in that team. There was a Kevin Durant in that team. There was a Jason Durant in that team. Exactly. There is a Bradley Beal in that team. And it's an exhibition game, but
we did well.
How surprised and how impressed are you guys with the performance of the Nigeria guys on the night?
For me, I was 100% surprised. I would not lie. I was not expecting. The last time we played against the United States, that was in the Olympics.
2012. It was something else.
When Braz killed us.
I think Carmelo Anthony scored like 40-something points against Nigeria.
Yeah, I was expecting another barrier. He killed us within 7 minutes. 7 minutes. 7 short minutes. And yesterday was just a different one. It just shows the ineptness that our coach brings into this team. You know, Nigeria might not have all the big stars. The players from NBA might be non-starters, but it's just going to show the compactness, or should I say the cohesiveness that this team brings. It's going to be a moral booster. Not like Nigeria is going to win the gold or win any medal in the basketball at the Olympics, but this will develop and make us look Angola and Egypt and say we are the best in Africa.
Okay, guys. We'll take a short break now. When we return, trust me, it's all football, football, football. We'll be going to South America. Something happened yesterday. I will unleash it after the. I will unleash it after our break. So welcome listeners and viewers around the world. So let's go to South America. It was a dream final for every football fan around the world. Brazil versus Argentina, Copa America final. And the story behind this is Lionel Messi for all the accolades, all the achievements he has achieved, all the things he achieved with Barcelona at club level. He still doesn't have any senior, trophy with the Argentina national team. Going to the game against Brazil yesterday, the game was played in Maracanã, even though it was played behind closed door because of the coronavirus pandemic. Argentina defeated Brazil by 1 goal to nothing. Debo, let me just please summarize the game for us.
It was a terrific game. Honestly, it was more or less of tactical discipline on the part of the Argentines, poor officiating on the part of the referee, and of course, we saw brilliance of Neymar in the game. For the goal itself, I would and I will continue blaming Ederson for that goal. He wasn't supposed to rush out of his goal. But that being said, the sharp thinking of Angel Di Maria made all the difference. That was a wonderful goal to score. And of course, for the coach himself, for Tite, he was supposed to bring in those guys. Richarlison did not come to the party, basically, for Brazil. He did not come to the party. These are things that coaches should be able to see right from the word go. Don't keep on these guys. You have a Gabi on the bench that could actually do something. Gabi made all the difference when he came in, but it was already gone. It was a little bit too late. But so much accolade and so much respect for Emiliano Martinez. Looks like the best goalkeeper in the world right now.
I am getting there. I'm getting there. You actually because I think unfortunately, in the era of just not football fan, the era of I stand, I respond, I stand Ronaldo, I stand. They are not just fans. Those ones doesn't just want to know whether nothing wrong or what will I say? Messi cannot do wrong. Ronaldo cannot do wrong.
Messi can never do anything wrong.
I think like what I've been saying in the past is a team sport. Everybody will do his own part. Messi did his own part, probably in the early part of the
tournament. Yeah.
But Sheyi, let me come to you. How crucial is Emiliano Martinez's contribution to the Argentine team's success? Considering that in the semi-final against Colombia, he saved 3 penalties. And this is a guy that is just making his 8th cap for Argentina. 1 year ago, he was not in reckoning. He made his 8th cap in the final game against Brazil. What is your thought about the contribution of Emiliano Martinez in the Argentine success at the Copa America?
Yeah, Olawale, thanks. I think massive, of course. That should be the word I should really use. To this type of players that the early part of their career, they're actually nowhere. The later part of the career, as in, exactly. If you look at this Leicester guy also, Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy was nowhere to around like 27, 28 years. You understand? I think Emiliano Martinez also fits into that category of players that actually became a very important player to whichever team they play for. Looking at this same Martinez, if you look at the Arsenal team that he actually was in goal for when this guy was injured, the number 1 keeper was
it's the only reason why Arteta has a job.
They got the final. You are very right about that. Actually, you're very right. He won the what's it called, the FA Cup,
The FA Cup
and
with Arsenal.
eventually
Yeah.
moved on to Aston Villa. We saw what he did in that particular, the best Aston Villa player for that season. Of course, Grealish had injury, so we can really say Martinez was the best player
He
for
actually had
Aston Villa that season. Now
this
bringing that form into Copa. Now bringing that form into Copa America. Messi has been in this tournament for how many years and refused to win this cup. Now, Emiliano Martinez in that team seemed to be the missing link, and I can say I think that's the key to Lionel Messi's happiness. This
because you could see
around.
the way the Messi actually hugged him after that shootout in semi-final. It meant a lot to
exactly.
the guy. And I think we have to give Emiliano Martinez some bit of credit. He actually bet on himself. He was confident in his ability, because any other goalkeeper could have been taught to remain in Arsenal as second choice to Leno. But I think the guy bet on himself. He believed in himself, and he took the challenge to go to Aston Villa. And what do you call it?
Look at where he is now.
If I had just one thing into discussion, I can guarantee you that Arsenal will have qualified for Europa League last season if Emiliano was their goalkeeper. And this is the simple reason: it will have saved them some crucial points. Games that they were supposed to lose, they could have gotten out to the draw. Exactly. It made all the difference against Liverpool, against Man City, against Chelsea in the final as well. Like I said before, it's the only reason why we think Arteta is that good.
Okay, Olayinka, let me come from you. Let me come for you with this. Now, does this change anything when it comes to Lionel Messi? I know the narrative has always been he has not won anything when it comes to national team. Does this change the perception of Lionel Messi in terms of his career in the national team? Because he has a Copa America in the bag now.
Oh, definitely. A big yes to that. I mean, a lot of news have been going around that the first GOAT, CR7, has now welcomed Messi, the second GOAT, to the Hall of GOATers. To the Hall of GOATers. And whether we like it or not, on the most serious note, Messi is a phenomenon. He has just shown what an out of this world player he is. I mean, guarding his country to a record 15 titles, to rival Uruguay at the Copa America. And when you look at all the awards he won in this tournament, he won the highest goal scorer, best player. The first player, top assist provider, golden ball winner, the first player to do so. He goes to show the level of content he has.
South America, the Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Kaká, Bebeto,
all the playmakers, all the playmakers.
Honestly,
in the world.
just to answer Wale's question, it goes to show that he will be rated as one of the best players ever. Argentina, they depended on him, and he has delivered, not just for himself, but also for the national team. He's after Maradona, I think he's the best next loved thing in Argentina. And I see the form he's in right now. He might not be doing all those shimmerings, all those maneuverings again, but he has become a little bit more matured. He now understands what it is to be the head of a unit. He knows that without him, he's the fulcrum of that side, and he knows without him, they cannot function properly. And I see him taking this form to his club. I see probably...
We don't know where he's going to play next year.
Whichever club he goes to, I see him understanding the fact that he will still be the head for another maybe couple of years, maybe 4 years. He will still be in charge. He will still be the connection. He will still be the center of any team he plays for. You have to give it to him. He did very well at the Copa America, although to me, personally, on that final match, the level of play, the quality of play wasn't what I expected. The referee was the referee was something that I just was a
okay.
sham.
Thank you, Olayinka, thank you for that. But before we leave this topic, there's a narrative, or let me say, it might just be banned going on Twitter that just for Messi to win this championship, that South America actually organized 4 Copa America in 5 years, just for him to win. But I think that is actually wrong. That's I think between 2015 and 2021, that's like 6 years. We had 4, but I think 2016 was a special edition. Ordinarily, I don't think they had the initial plan. It was to celebrate 100 years of, what do you call it? The centenary year of Copa America. So that was why that one was aired in the United States, and it was even expanded to like 14 teams. They actually had to accommodate all the North American teams. And if you since it's the Copa America era, which was 1975, between 1975 and 1990, 98, was it 1987? Between 1979 and 1987, it was actually hosted every 4 years. Between 87 to, let me say, 2004, it was 2001, it was hosted every 2 years. Between 2001 and up to 2015, it was 3 years. So South America has always been known for not having a consistent way of hosting their competition. I just want to throw that one out.
So, a consistent calendar.
Exactly. They can decide to go to 2 years, sometimes 4 years, sometimes 3
years. I might just add something before we move on.
Okay.
If I might just add one thing before we move on.
You have the floor.
I disagree with Olayinka. Yeah, I disagree with Olayinka. The simple reason why I disagree with Olayinka is this. Whether Messi wins the Copa America or it does not, it does not change. I'm a diehard Ronaldo fan, but it does not change the fact that Messi, I'm not supposed to use the word, but Messi is a footballing god.
Yeah, I think that is the.
It wouldn't have taken anything away from me. This is just a cherry on the cake.
Exactly.
This is just a cherry.
It's just like the least his career deserved, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
But the fact that he's a one club man will always be like a taint.
I don't believe so. Paolo Maldini is a one club man. Ryan Giggs. Paolo Maldini was a one club man, and Alexandre Costa-Curta was a one club man. And these are guys that we regarded as footballing legends. Ryan Giggs was a one club man.
They will be regarded as first and ever.
He has scored more goals against Arsenal than Ruud van Nistelrooy.
And Ruud van Nistelrooy plays Arsenal virtually every year.
Exactly.
So don't let us waste time on this topic. Let's go to the main event of the weekend, which was the European Cup final. Italy are the champions of Europe. They won their first major competition. For the first time since 2006, when they won the World Cup, and they are winning their second European Championship, one behind Germany and Spain. Germany, Spain, they have 3 championships to their on their destiny. But for Italy, this is their first European Championship since 1968. The game ended 1-1. It 22 penalties. They won. Donnarumma was the hero of the night, despite Pickford actually saving 2 penalties too. For me, in summary, on the night, I think they deserved a victory. And looking at the way all the teams in the competition are played, they might not be the most talented team. Look, like I said behind before we started the show, they were the team that got the best out of their team. Let me start with you, Sheyi. Let me start with you from here. Your assessment of the final match between Italy and England.
Okay, well, I think I think it was a match almost fit for a final because England tend to be the one that left the block first and in 2 minutes they got a reward for that. But personally, I think that reward was like a course for them in disguise, and I have my reasons. It really sent England back to a defensive mode, and totally killed the game for me personally, because I was expecting a free-flowing match actually between the two teams that, in my opinion, I think they've made the best out of their large team in terms of the way they've used the depth of the squad. I know Italy used that better than England, but I think both teams were the teams that that deserved to be in the final, and I expected better from that particular match. I think Italy were the winners because I think over the 120 minutes they were better in terms of they had to come from. I think the worst thing that can happen to a team in final is to concede a goal in the first 2 minutes. That can actually mess up your game plan. It can destabilize your players, and they were able to get themselves into a form. They came back from that. They got the goal, and they were still the dominant team after getting the equalizer. I think over 120 minutes, they were the better team, and in all, they deserve this competition more than England.
Okay, now, thank you, Sheyi. Debo, I'm coming for you next now. I personally, I wanted the English to win the trophy. I think I've been one of their diehard fans as far back as 1998. But at the same time, yeah, in fact, I've been singing the song all day. But I don't want to be an hypocrite because I've actually bashed a lot of coaches who I think have been, because I believe what made people love football is that bit of adventures. The Brazilian team celebrated, the people celebrated in the past, but the Brazilian team that gave us flair. The Barcelona team, if the Barcelona team of Pep Guardiola, the Arsenal team of Arsene Wenger, even the United team under Ferguson, even at times they could be pragmatic, but for most of their career, it has always been expressive and this. But looking at this English team, I know all these things we are saying wouldn't have mattered if they have actually won the trophy, because that's what, personally, I'm disappointed in the way the old team, the way they went with their about their business. Are you really disappointed? Do you think they could have won this tournament, or let me say this game, with a little bit of more, let me say, a little bit of more expression? Because for me, throughout the competition, they were just too negative. And that's, I think, the guy going with almost 7 right fullbacks, eventually, we saw what he wanted to achieve with that. But in your opinion, was this tournament a success or an underachievement, looking at the depth of the squad?
Honestly, in one short word, for me, is an underachievement, and it's very simple. England has one of the best squad in the world. We see them week in, week out. We know what Grealish can do. We're seeing Sancho, we know what he can do. Even the small Bukayo Saka, we know what he does with Arsenal. You know, we see where Anderson could do. I don't agree with Sterling going to the tournament. I know he carried them and scored a couple of goals, but I don't agree with him. But basically, the tactical approach of Gareth Southgate is too negative. What's negative? You play Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips in the front of a back four. That automatically negates whatever it is that you want to push going forward. So what you are left with is a diving Raheem Sterling. If you are playing Bukayo Saka as a left or right forward, that means Bukayo Saka is still going to be tracking back and helping the defense, because that's what he's going to do more. And whoever is playing to the left will do the same. You know, so it was negative. If it was a little bit more adventurous, like you said, and more expressive with his football, this Italian team, like I argue with Sheyi behind closed door, I don't think this Italian team can handle the English guys if they when they are full morale and you allow these guys to express themselves. You are playing guys like Anderson and probably Declan Rice in the middle of the park. You're unleashing Marcus Rashford, John Sancho, and Grealish and Harry Kane from the start of the game. For me, sometimes, like you said, like you rightly noted, Ferguson could be pragmatic at times, right? But he starts with the attacking players. And when it's like 75th minute, you're leading 3-0. What else do you want to do? Take out a couple of attacking players, bring in defensive players. Nobody's going to bash you for that, right? But no way you have all the players, all the stars, all the guys that can change the game. And for the whole of the tournament, if not because of the outcome, I'm pretty sure Sancho will not play this tournament.
Of course, if not for what's happened to Bukayo Saka and what Mason Mount out on this, and against Ukraine, we saw what Sancho could actually bring to the team.
Exactly.
He could take on 2 or 3. He could take on 2-3 players at the same time. He can stretch leaving more space for the guys. I was even thinking probably from there on we'll see more of him. Even against Denmark, I was a bit disappointed. If that equalizer didn't come very early, it would have been a difficult game against them. They could have struggled to get the equalizer. So for me, I think it was even good that the Italians won, because last European Championship we saw a very poor team winning it. 2018 World Cup, we saw a very talented French squad, but with a bit of this negative approach. I don't like the way football.
Too much of negative approach.
Yeah, I don't like that. So Olayinka, coming to you now, is it like this? I'll ask you the same question I asked you. Were you disappointed? Is this time a disappointment for the English, or you think they've done well for themselves?
That guy is coming on.
To me, I think it's an overachievement really, because coming into the tournament, they were not expected to.
No, I will not agree with you. I will not agree with you.
The English side, they were not expected.
They were technically the host country.
Yeah.
But still, whether they were host or not, when you look at their previous achievements and even their short-term achievement in the last 1 year, where have they gone to in world soccer? Fine, the English league is probably the best right now, and it's because it's the best in the sense that
but they were in
the
semi-finals of the Europa Super Cup.
What do you call it? The
semi-final of the
Nations Cup. European Nations Cup, right?
Exactly.
But I mean, when you have a tournament,
Nations League, they call it the Nations League.
When you have a tournament with the Italians there, with the Spanish there, with the French there, with the Germans there, will you always rate the English above them? No, I don't think so. Even if let's look at something critically. At the end of this match, 2 things are going to epitomize what I believe won the trophy for Italy and what lost it for England. One, when they blew the whistle, Mancini was crying. I hope you saw that. Then secondly, when you look at the combined age of the Italian centre back, it's 70 years. Bonucci is 34. Chiellini is 36. It goes to show that resilience is one of the key things you need to win a tournament. And the English never had that.
Do you know why I would disagree with you? I think this era that we have in club football and national team football, right, I think it's one of the most, let me say, the poorest era I've ever seen in football in terms of the quality of the game, in terms of the big teams. I don't think the English team I don't think they have it much easier than this. Look, going to this tournament, the Spanish team, despite their tiki-taka, they lack that conviction and the cutting edge in attack. Let me finish. The French team, even with their talents, you just know, even them, they don't really know how to. They don't even know how to maximize their talent. They don't have a coach. And for all the good things this Italian team has done in this tournament, I'm actually their fan. And I don't think this is the best. Let me say 6 years ago, they might not even get to the semi-final of a major competition. The German team are nowhere to be found. If there is any time, looking at the quality, like they both clearly stated, Rashford hardly played during this
The whole
competition.
tournament.
Sancho was very fortunate that due to COVID and injury to Bukayo Saka, was able to play one single 90 minutes. Grealish was in and out of the team. You could imagine in the semi-final when they scored the penalty, the first thing he had to do was to even remove a Grealish that came in. That's just to show you, I don't think they will find it much easier. And I think they have the right talent to go at Italy in this cup. If you look at the second half, of the extra time, Italy were committing a lot of fouls. That was the only time England probably had that conviction to attack a bit. And like she rightly stated, I think that early goal was a blessing in disguise for Italy because the English guys just shut down completely.
But
I think that is my take.
Statistics will not lie. Look at the statistics of the game. The English are just one shot at goal.
No, what we are saying is this. I think you don't get my argument is they played very, very poorly. I agree with what I'm saying is they have more. They have the talent to do more than what they actually did.
They have achieved more.
I agree with you. So right now it comes to the coach, right? Then, right?
Exactly.
Or what? Let's identify the problem.
Yeah,
let's identify what will take them to the next level.
Exactly.
What will take them to the next level?
The coach is a Middlesbrough coach.
So
okay. It's going to be good for us not to forget something. I completely agree with you guys, but also we need to remember that this guy Southgate was actually started. He actually started a long time ago. That's coaching the under 21.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys played from the under 21 before they got to this level. Now, let's see the progression. He got to the semi-final of the World Cup also, which is one of a great achievement in terms of English teams. And this time around, they got to the final. It's unfortunate that I understand. I understand.
Missing Wale's point. Wale's point is
I'm not missing. No, I'm not missing. Yes,
that's what Wale is
I understand. Yes, I understand Wale's point. I'm just trying to say that a bit of probably they were unlucky today. Yeah, but
no,
I still
they were not unlucky.
think Southgate
they were not. Statistics were against them.
They were
not statistics.
Sheyi, let me tell you something.
I totally agree with you that the coach also has made a mistake to set up a team that played in that particular way, and they ended up losing the match.
You know, he has talent. The good thing is this: if Gareth Southgate has gone away with this, it could have been a disaster for football.
English football,
he would be as a hero in his country. But see, even
I agree with you.
The two competitions that you think he has done well, I'm not trying to take anything away from him. Look, just take a look at the 2018 World Cup. That group stage outside Belgium, when he played Belgium, they played Tunisia and one other team, which are very, very poor. I think Tunisia and Saudi Arabia. Second round, it was Colombia. It went into penalties. They could have even crashed out. Quarterfinal, it was Sweden. Semi-final was when they played a decent squad and they lost to Croatia. Yeah. This competition, with all due respect, they played all this competition at home, as far as I'm concerned. Croatia, Scotland, and you could see it against Scotland. They couldn't really attack. Czech Republic, second round, a German team that played all their 3 games at home that couldn't beat Hungary. So the German team were actually struggling on their own part. They couldn't beat Hungary. They lost to France. It was only against Portugal they came to the party. Then quarterfinal Ukraine, Denmark semi-final. The guy has been one of the most luckiest coaches in the world, and I think he missed a very big chance of claiming a title. That's my own thing. So, Debo, let me come to you now. Who is your player of the tournament?
Wale, why will you do this to me now? God. My player of the tournament. I don't know. I'll just pop over.
That's not acceptable. Second round is crash out
Okay. I'm supposed to. The best player of the tournament for me should be Spinazzola.
Spinazzola. Yeah, I think so. I think I agree with
What
you
he
with
had
that.
injury, I don't know.
Something-
Maybe Donnarumma, the Italian goalkeeper.
But-
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
for me, I have joint men of the tournament.
Okay.
Bonucci and Chiellini, combined age of 70 years old, they were playing like youngsters.
And not even that. Do you know what is surprising about? They were playing high-line defense, and there was
Yeah.
no team that was willing to run at them.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But
And this-
Wale, I don't think we should be surprised. This is just the DNA of Italy.
Of
They
Italian.
I remember,
Italian.
I think it was 2002 or 2001. The Juventus and the AC Milan team, I think the combined ages of those guys in the defense was more than 200 years.
Yeah, it doesn't matter for them.
It's just the way, I don't know. The formative years, they are very solid. And when they grow old, they become old wine till they retire.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the thing is not going to change till it retires.
Like Wale pointed out, they were playing high line. So an intelligent opposition coach would have brought in maybe a fast-paced player like Grealish early.
No.
Capitalize on that.
What they needed was a Jordan Sancho. If Jordan Sancho could have been a nice player for the Italian defense.
Sancho, a player like Rashford.
Because Sancho sits on he hugs the touchline.
Exactly.
And that way they are going to stretch that Italian.
Exactly.
back
He's going to stretch the back line. How?
Exactly.
Guy.
I agree with you.
Well,
Maybe-
congratulations to the
Maybe one
Italians.
of the better coach.
But like I said earlier, looking at the Italians and looking at the provision that UEFA actually made for most of the teams, with you having you could actually do up to 5 substitutions over the tournament. Like I think like Sheikh clearly said, that they make use of their squad depth more than any other this team. And for whatever shortcoming we might felt that team actually have, I think they'd be very, very positive in their approach, even against Spain, when despite the fact that Spain were dominating possession, they were not intentionally sitting back. They were still trying to get at Spain, and which I think that is what football should be all about. I'm not against you trying to defend your lead, but I just don't want him to play below the quality.
A negative
approach to the game completely. You could be negative probably in one game or towards the end of the game, but you starting, in as much as I want England to win this competition, I didn't want Gareth Southgate to get away with this kind of
with the negative football.
With murder.
Sincerely, Wale, I agree with you. He changed the approach. He changed the approach of football. I know Shelly will be against what I'm about to say. That's the reason why I don't like Diego Simeone. That's the only reason why I don't like him. And Diego Simeone could come into the foray because of what Mourinho has done in the past and gotten away with. The same way they've overanalyzed football, thanks to Mr. Pep Guardiola. And yes, they've overanalyzed football now. It's going to change the dynamics of football. And the reason why we love football, at the end of the day, we will forget why we really love football. If they overanalyze football. That's just my answer.
Okay, guys, I think we've done enough justice to the topic. I'll be ending the show now. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sheyi. Thank you, Debo. Thank you, Olayinka. I'll be ending the show with just one word. Forza Italia. Thank you.
Forza Italia!
Azzurri!
Italia.